Welcome back to my channel, guys, and let's talk about some Hazbin Hotel. This is somewhat, I don't think I've ever mentioned Hazbin Hotel on this channel. So, kind of what I like to do is kind of talk about my history with it, and then I was going to talk about how I felt about season 1, season 2, maybe some predictions for season 3. So this is going to be a little bit of a spoilery conversation for the 2 seasons that are out right now. So just be aware of that watching this. But anyway, yeah, so how I got into Hazbin Hotel was a little bit differently. Like, I've never heard of Hello Boss before, and I never saw like the stuff that they put on YouTube. I finally did watch it later on, but it was a total like blind, like, boyfriend came up to me and was like, "Are you willing to watch the show with me?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then I found out it was a musical. So I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting from this whole thing, and I was, and I fell in love with it after the first episode, and I've been in love with it ever since. Um, I feel like it feels like old 90s Disney, like, quality when it comes to the music. Like, and I've been missing that so much with Disney right now. With having like an adult cartoon that is like in hell and is talking about angels coming down and, killing the sinners and stuff. And I'm finally getting to the point where I'm getting that good quality 90s Disney music is fantastic. Like, every single person that sings on Hazbin Hotel is fantastic. And I think they mashed the characters really, really great, and there's so much passion and everything, and the story keeps you guessing, and that's what I really like about it, is that, like, you're guessing one thing over here, and it's like really another thing over here, and that's something that I feel like we get a lot with like anime manga, but not a lot with like adult cartoons, or animated features, however you want to put it. But this is like I'm always guessing what the next move is. And especially with Alistair, like, Alistair is such an interesting character because of the fact that in the first season he's such a mystery. It's like, okay, why is this demon lord, like, they said he disappeared, he's back, like, what's that all about? I don't even really think we really know what that truly is about. They didn't really go into it too much. And then, like, the second season, you get into his backstory and what happened there and everything. And it's really cool. And, like, you get that whole shock thing of Rosie being the one that, you know, gave him like his powers and stuff. Okay, well, now she's a big huge mystery because how does she have all that power? And I think with having just 8 episodes, and they answer a lot of questions, but then still leave you guessing. So, like, in the first season, it's all about redemption and can sinners be redeemed? And then we get a hint of that with Pontius at the end of the first season. Okay, he's redeemed. So what does that mean? And then in the second season, you see Pontius in heaven, and you see kind of what that means for him, and kind of the loneliness that he feels. Like, it's kind of, Pontius's story is really sad in a way where, like, yes, I'm redeemed, like, and I'm the first sinner being redeemed, and he's very, like, lonely, and he's trying to figure out, like, where is his, now that he's in heaven, like, what's his purpose? And then in at the end of season 2, where they're trying to figure out the weapon and stuff, and trying to make that broadcast happen. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on, but like, it's a little noisy. So I hope it's not coming up on the mic as much. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Welcome to my channel, and now I'm an official YouTuber holding the mic like this. Anyway, I just feel like at the end of the day, like Pinchas's story, and we think it's Jack the Ripper. I think it's Jack the Ripper who he saw the crimes of. That would be a very good guess. Unless there's like somebody else, but I think it's actually Jack the Ripper. I think Pinchas knows who Jack the Ripper is. And that would be kind of interesting to see if he's somebody big in hell. Because I don't think they just gave that information to us and it's not going to be used later. It could be like a one-off, like, yeah, we forgot that storyline, but the maker of this just seems like she is on top of everything. She is like giving you clues all the way through, and yeah, I don't think that was an accidental, like Pinchas knows potentially who Jack the Ripper is. I don't think that was an accident. At least that's who I think it is, just based off of the scenery and kind of where he was located. But anyway, Charlie is. I'm kind of going to go and talk about Charlie for a little bit. She is a very interesting character in this kind of extremely optimistic way that her and her dad look at the sinners and the ability to rehabilitate. And we know Lucifer has tried to make deals with heaven before, and they are just extremely cheery for two people that Lucifer actually is like locked up in hell, and can't use his power against sinners and is stuck down there. And Charlie is just dealing with all her family issues and what's expected out of her being a princess. So it's a weird dynamic with those two that I am very curious, like, how they're going to move it forward. Like, it's so light right now, but we also don't have Lilith or Eve or whoever you think that character is. I think I'm going to go with the kind of the guests from like the public that I've seen, and I think they're one and the same person, but really who's in control. And I think it's Eve right now, but I think towards the end of season 3, I think Lilith is going to take back control. Would be my best guess, and be with her family. Because I seriously think it's Lilith. Like, I don't, like, even though Lucifer might have slept with Eve, I don't think that's gonna be the twist. I think the twist is gonna be that it was Eve taking over Lilith's body, and that's why Lilith never talks. But I also think that, which I just would be a smart idea for, Eve to do something like that, but I'm not sure. Like, that's a complete and total mystery. Rosie is a complete and total mystery. We know that she's an overlord. We know she's in Cannibal Town for some reason. And we know that she's had multiple husbands and stuff like that. So, and we know that Alistair broke the chain that she had for him, and we know now that Alistair has a chain against her. So I know this is really jumpy. I do apologize, guys. I just have a lot to talk about, and like, I guess I could talk about it all day, but I don't think you guys want that. Um, and it's just a really weird dynamic. Sorry, guys. And then I think my last character that I really want to talk about is Angel. I really felt for him. I always do. I think he is probably, out of all the sinners, he's the most tragic character out of all of them because you're really seeing the V's power. And you see a little bit of what Alistair does to his, like, Husk and yeah, Husk mostly. They do have like one scene where he's getting a little physical. Nothing comparable to what Angel goes through with the V's. So I just think, whoops, sorry guys. I just think that is something that I think we're going to try to break the chain for Angel in season 3. I think season 3 is going to be where Angel, I don't know if he's going to get redeemed. I think it's kind of weird that his name is Angel and then he's in hell and he's a sinner. I mean, it's Angel Dust, but having that type of name, like, it's a little weird to be having that and not have him be an angel with wings. Like, it just feels a little weird. I think he's gonna get redeemed eventually. I think the main cast is going to get redeemed, and because that's like the main goal of the series in total. When you're looking at kind of the goal for Charlie is to get everybody from the hotel redeemed. So I don't know how far that goes. If that means, like, you know, does that mean Lucifer is gonna get his wing? Like his heavenly wings, not like, like, how far does this redemption go? And I think that's the question, like, we really need to ask is, like, what are we expecting out of, the last couple seasons? Because I think season 3 is supposed to be about family, so we're gonna get a whole bunch of the lowdown with Lilith, with Lucifer, with Charlie, what Charlie actually is, and, the power dynamic between the 3, because I think there's a big power dynamic gap. I think we're going to find out that Charlie is a lot more powerful than Lucifer in a lot of ways. Sorry, guys. And then she could be even more powerful than Lilith. But Lilith seemed like she had a lot of control over hell and by using music. So, it could be a lot interesting to just kind of see where that's gonna all go. I'm really curious about it. We know that Angel Dust is not gonna be stuck with the V's. So we know that Charlie's not gonna let that happen. So something's gonna happen there. I think his contract's gonna be broken and he's gonna have complete control over his situation. Is really what I think is gonna happen. Sorry guys for the yawning. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Now, when it comes to the music, I did like season 1 over season 2. Season 2, like Love in the Bottle and the Gravity. Gravity's so good. And a couple other songs, but I can play season one soundtrack like fully and not feel like I need to extremely skip a song. I really wish I would stop yawning, guys. I drank like 300 milligrams of caffeine with my energy drinks, and it still doesn't feel like it does much. I'm not drinking another one because that's 600 milligrams, and then I will. I don't want to know the consequences of that one, you guys. Um, but yeah, it's been good. I've been watching How Love a Boss slowly, and I still don't like it as much. I feel like they focus more on the story, so I think we're gonna figure out a lot of stuff that hasn't really touched yet. Um, and it's like even the lower level, which is the imp and then the owl people, which is like right underneath Lucifer, but over the overlord. So it's like, okay, like there's like a different type of power dynamic. Like you're over the overlords because you're a little bit more closer to like Lucifer's level. So that's gonna get interesting. I hope there's a lot of crossover. I think we're gonna start getting crossover stuff too, where um like there's gonna be some power plays. I think we're gonna get some different overlords. I think we're gonna go to new places. I don't think we're just stuck with the hotel, because we've adventured hell a little bit more of hell in a hell of a boss than we have in Hazbin. So that tells me like with the crossover, there's probably gonna be some like different areas to explore. Like I could see like we explore the area where Incorporated is and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. But thank you for listening to my rambles, and I hope to see you in the next video. This video will probably be up this Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, which okay, well we're thankful for Hazbin Hotel apparently around here, but um yeah, so just be aware, like if you're want to watch a video, which is this could be up. And otherwise, most of my other media reviews are usually on Thursdays, and book reviews on Sunday. Like and subscribe, hit that bell, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.